cats. That little, one in the middle, I'll just tell you, Libby is a blind cat, and she's totally blind. And Sammy Socks is urinary and fecal incontinent. Trippy is a three-legged cat. So we got quite a Curtis. You can't tell, is a little bit feral and a little bit crazy. You can't tell by that. But anyway, and so this year. Last year we had, I know Mirlo, yeah, we'll talk about him later. Yeah, he's a great cat. There's no problems with him. He needs a home. As last year was a massacre. We lost 12 cats. This year only 4 cats. Well, 3 cats and a rabbit. I better get that right, huh? That's a rabbit there. But the only one I really want to focus on, even though not to say that these aren't important, Winnie was an FIV cat from our city shelter. He was also an FIV cat and nobody wanted. Margie is I'll try to make this brief. Margie died at 14 this year, and this was a hard one for me because I rescued her at 6 weeks in Toledo, Ohio. Okay. When you rescue, you can't take a vacation. I mean, you can't. You always will find an animal. And I found her at 6 weeks in Toledo. Most of Toledo is a very bad neighborhood. And none of the rescue groups would take her. And I brought her back to San Clemente. And she was with me for 14 years. She hated the other cats. She was a mama's girl. That's all she cared about was me. And she passed away this year. And it was a very big loss in my life to lose Margie after 14 years. So, okay. Now, these were some of the cats I rescued this year. This cat, Finn, am I in your way? Can you see or am I seeing? Okay. Finn is a very interesting way you need to tell this story because it's kind of funny. Most of you have heard me or go on Facebook and read my posts know that every night I go out and feed feral cats, and there's this one pocket of San Clemente, and it's about 2 to 3 blocks, and I call it the kitty ghetto, and you've heard me say that before. And I've endeavored to pull so many cats out of there, and I pulled quite a few out. And this one, I found him last winter. I would just drive by every day by this, where there was this auto shop, and I would see this big orange cat, and he was howling all the time, and he'd walk and he'd howl, and he'd walk and he'd howl. And I thought, oh my, and he wasn't feral, but he was scared. So I started feeding him, and then I said, you know what, you're not feral, I'm gonna get you. And I think I can get you without a trap. So one night I was out there late at night and I brought a huge carrier, because Finn is about 16, 17 pounds. Brought a huge carrier, put it down vertically, and I grabbed him. And just as, much to his surprise, scruffed him and started putting him in the carrier. Just as I did that, the security system on the place started going off. And this is like, and then here's this cat that's like, he's not taken to this carrier. He's banging around. This carrier just banging around. And I got him home. He had a real hard transition. He is not feral, but he had a really hard transition. I didn't want to eat for a while. I worked with him with some essences and appetite stimulant to get him to eat. He never really did well with all the other cats, and he was such a big presence. The good news, and I will tell more about it later, Finn got adopted. So that's the news. And he went with home with a family with kids that love him, and they love him to pieces. So that's Finn's good ending. Wally, which shelter did he go? Was that west? South north. North Central? Okay, this is just a spur of the moment. Oh my God, he's a cute FIV positive cat, and his name is Wally. He's 8 years old. Nobody's going to take him. And my father's name was Walter, so I was drawn to him. And that's Avery in the background. They're holding beautiful Wally. So he is pretty much, I don't know that he's adoptable. This is wonderful Thomas, who came from divorce shelter where they thought he was a 1-year-old female and turned out to be a 3-year-old neutered male. And Thomas is probably one of the nicest cats I've ever rescued, and he was going to be killed because he had just sneezed. They said he was sneezing and discharged. One sneeze. I mean, Carol will tell you that he's a fairly healthy cat. Carol helped me adopt him. He got adopted probably within about 6 to 8 weeks to a wonderful family. He's doing really great. But just the sweetest, nicest cat. Good with other cats. Just one of those cats who just, you know. And Carol, at their home, does he sleep with them in bed?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, with me, he just wanted to curl under your neck, and he was just, and they were going to kill him, and you know, it's very hard. okay, Luzerne is definitely was a special needs, but I don't have her anymore. Luzerne also came from the divorce shelter. You can see her, this is her in a cage, in a trap, and a lady who rescues cats from divorce said, can you somebody foster her? I don't think she's really feral. Foster her for a week. So I said, okay, I can do that. I have a cage, I can do it for a week. So I fostered her, and famous last words, right? So realized very, very quickly that Luzerne was sick. And I suspected, and I was right. Well, thankfully she was not. She was slightly preggo, and she was sick. I took her to the vet. The day I had to get her to the vet, I called the lady and said, you know, you're pulled her, this is your cat. You know, what do I do with this cat? I'm going to have to probably spend at least $300, $400 at the vet, if not more. And she said, I can't, I don't have any money. You're going to have to either put it down or you're going to have to deal with it. And I said, okay, I'm not going to let her go. And at this point, I still thought she was kind of feral. But I took her to my vet. We just started on treatment, antibiotics, fluids. I'm very good with ferals, and I have a special cage I use. It's a squeeze-side cage. There's opening times so I could give her fluids, and then she was allowing me to do all this stuff. And the vet said, you know, she's scared, but she's sweet. So I would force feed her every day with her antibiotics. And she gradually got better and better within about a week's period of time. And then we spayed her and got her all well. She tested negative for leukemia and FIV, got her all taken care of, and then they said, what do I do with this cat? So luckily the lady did say, after I did all the work, she would take the cat back. And this is her in the new home. There she is. And she is actually turned out to be, she's shy, but she is an adoptable cat, and can you tell how beautiful this cat is? But that's her after she had all this medical treatment, when she was hydrated and had everything was done to her. That's her, right? This is Sunya, and if anybody can tell, that's a feral cat. And Don can tell because she got bit by a very bad. Sunya was a cat that was also at Devore, and she had 5 kittens, which we'll see in a bit. And she got very sick, as many of them do, coming out of the shelter. And of course, being feral, nobody wanted to do anything with her. But I took her, and again, there's my nice little squeeze-like cage. And I nursed her back to health, and she got up to a ranch that I use, and there she is. So, but she was very feral. She was a challenge to medicate more than the other girl. And those are there's another one missing, but those were her kittens. And I might add that there's 5 of them, and they're all available for adoption. They're almost 4 months now. They've all been fixed and vaccinated and tested and dewormed and you name it. And they're living at a foster home in Santa Ana, and they're looking for homes for them. This was another divorce shelter kitty named Danny Boy Cats, and he didn't like to be handled. He was very sick when he came to me. Very sick, but he was a clawed cat, and I knew he'd be highly adoptable because of the orange cat personality. So I got him well. It took me a while. I had to use Chinese herbs because nothing else was working, and I got him well, got him better, and he too has been adopted, and we'll see his post-adoption picture in a bit. A wonderful cat, wonderful cat. Now, here's my little creamsicle, whatever you want to call her. This is one of the special needs ones, and I'm trying not to take any permanent cats in right now because of space, but I got a call, and some of you who are on Facebook know this story. Got a call and an email from a lady up in near Sacramento, wonderful lady. Her mother had died earlier this year. She lived in Tennessee. Her father lived up by Sacramento, and he and his wife, when they were alive, were feeding all these feral cats up there, and they had gotten them fixed. Well, this wonderful lady needed to move her father back to Tennessee because he was very ill, and his 4 dogs, and she was really great. She wasn't going to leave those feral cats there. She was going to, and everybody was placed in the barn home, or if they weren't feral, she actually found some rescues to take them. Nobody would take this cat. They used to call her Scruffy. As you can see, that was her pose. That first is her when she was out there in the streets, and nobody would take her because they knew there was something wrong with her ears. And she just looked so bad. And I looked at her, and it was just one of those, I have to take this cat. There's just no option. I'm taking this cat. And I just, in my heart, felt like I have to do this one. And I got her down here, and she was really bad. You can see in the ears, the squamous cell cancer, really badly infected. She was dehydrated. She had an infection in her eyes and her nose. So I immediately started her on antibiotics and fluids. And then I took her to my vet and said, yeah, we got to take those ears off. And so as soon as she got a little stronger and a little better, we took the ears off. And most of the time, if you can get this kind of cancer and you can get it, you can get clean margins, you can, it won't come back. So that's what we're hoping for, you know, with her. But the amazing thing, besides the physical transformation, is her emotional transformation. Here's a cat that's been 10 years out there, and no one, even the vets, said she was feral. And I'm sorry, she has turned out to be one of the nicest, sweetest. My vet just loves her. She is just a little sweetie. And it was real hard because I eventually moved her inside, and she hid under the bed for about 3 weeks and hid. Every day I'd pick her up and I'd put her in my bed and I'd hold her and I'd say, "Is this the comfort place? Come on here, it's nice room here," you know? And you know, one morning I woke up, and there she was, right in my face, looking at me. And she now, I mean, she is my sweetheart, she is my love, she's my little soulmate, she is just such a dear cat, and it breaks my heart that she was out there for 10 years. And she was fed and she was spayed, but she needed so much more, and she's just a loving. Someone had to own her. She knows what a vet is. She knows how to cuddle her. But I love her to pieces. And Sarah apparently means light. That was the, is that correct? Yeah. And that was the name of the mother of this woman who brought her to me from Sacramento. Her mother, who died earlier, was Sarah. So I named her after her. This was Miles. Miles. Anna?
Oh, my Miles.
Your Miles. Oh, not your type. Well, not really. He's nobody's Miles in the one. He's somewhere else. Miles was another devoured cat that I mainly wanted to show this picture because it was really iffy at the divorce shelter, and they were going to put him down in his feral. And I had about 2 hours. There was no one to take him, and divorce 3 hours for me. And I found a place to hold him. If you want to call it a foster home, okay, but they kept him for 2 weeks, and he got under the bed and swatted at them. But I finally got him down here, and he was, in all my estimation and evaluation, feral cat, though a mild feral cat, and just a gorgeous cat, though. And I'm so glad. And Anna from Stray Cat Alliance helped me get him up to a beautiful sanctuary in Oregon, and so he's going to live a high life there, and he won't be dead.
So he's prettier than that. He's better looking.
Yeah, Carol took him to
Yeah.
Long Beach, isn't he? But look at what I loved about him. I don't know if you can see his eyes. He's so beautiful. His eyes were like almost like this turquoise green, which I've never seen before. He just dropped in gorgeous. There's Eliza. And Eliza, I just want to clarify that Eliza is looking for a home. Big time, okay? She's about 3 years old. I rescued her right outside my house. Thank God I did, because right after I rescued her, we had an explosion of coyotes, and she was been eaten. And I didn't think she was feral, but she was kind of fractious and swatting and scared of me, scared of the cat swatting. And so I didn't take her to the shelter because I really talked to someone there, and we just decided that she just needed more time and more socialization. And she has turned out into a beautiful lab cat. She loves people. And Cat, you remember when you were a cat? Remember her? Remember her?
Yes.
Yeah, she was, I mean, you could testify how loving she was, yeah.
Absolutely.
She's just a great cat, and we really need to find her home without other cats. Because that's what causes her to swat, is she sees another cat, she goes, whack up. But by herself, loving, wants to sit on your lap, wants to sit on your chest. And here's our adopted ones. Where's Murray? Pedro. Remember him? Yeah, that was your transport. This guy also came from the divorce shelter, and they were going to kill him because he had a huge wound on his head, which turned out to be a bite wound that was already healing, and it was just a tiny bite wound. Unfortunately, he did turn out to be FIV, which I pretty much knew. He's a big Tom. And he could not stay inside my property. We fixed up the fence, we did all these things. This cat did not want to be around the other cats. He just didn't want to be around them. He didn't want to be on the property. I had such a battle with him. But I got lucky, and I found a lady down in San Diego who said, I don't have any other cats. He can, I'm going to take him and try. I said, you're living in an apartment. I don't know how he's going to do. He's a roaming cat. And she said, well, try it. And that's him on her bed. So he's doing great. She loves him. And Herschel was named after a character on The Walking Dead. And if you know who the character is, one of my favorite shows that you'll know, he was knocked off. So. These were two more. There were dogs. A cat named Sweetie. It's a black cat, and another one. Sweetie came from Orange County Shelter along with Phoebe a number of years ago. They were on death's door, and they only had to be a rescue only because it was a confiscation case. So both of them got adopted this year. And there's Finn, the guy that I got outside at night. There he is. And Finn is, that's him in his home with one of the girls. See? So he's living the high life. There's Thomas again, who now I told you has a wonderful home. And Danny Boy went to this great lady in the Narrow Ranch, and I thought this was hilarious because the look in this cat's eye, she says to me every day, she reads her Bible on her desk, and she always puts his paw on the Bible. Like, Catholic cat. But I pointed out that this was of Genesis to her, and that Genesis, the way many people interpret it as Genesis is that man has dominion over animals, so I'm not sure he really should know about that. But anyway, he's a great cat. He's probably he was, like you said, he was one from DeVore. He was a decoy, and he was really sick, and they were going to euthanize him. And he has a wonderful home right now. And thank you to all the people. We have a list of the people that helped us either by donating stuff or helping